Hi friends, Renee Keese here with Carolina Creative, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with another card crafting idea for you today. I am back to playing with this gorgeous Unbounded Beauty paper. There are some just lovely florals in here, and so I am once again going to use a piece of paper and make that the focal point as a focal panel. The colors I'm using today are going to focus on, again, two of the new in colors. So this is Shy Shamrock, and then this is the Petunia Pop. And I'm going to use that to mount this piece of paper. You can already see that the two are really bright, but they're very contrasting. And so it just makes these little flowers pop. So that's the paper. I'm also borrowing a stamp set and the dies from Something Fancy. I like these sentiments and I feel like they go with a lot of different cards. So I'm going to use one of these sentiments, and I pulled out one of the shapes from the collection of shapes here. And I'm just going to use, I mean, it's a rectangle, but it's got fancy little edges. So it's going to be really pretty once it's cut out. So I'm going to start with that. I'll flip the camera down and show you my work area here. I've got my cutting and embossing machine here. And so I've just got a scrap of white, and I figured white would pop really well on that green and pink paper. So I'm just simply going to run this through and make a sentiment. Basically, I'm going to stamp my sentiment on this. And this is the only thing I'm die cutting today. I did use some of the little flowers out of the stamp set as well. And you'll see I punched out, I'll show you right here, they're laying here, little pink flowers that'll coordinate, and these leaves. And so I'm going to use that as a little bit of decoration. But basically, I am done with this machine, so I'm going to move it out of the way and come back to where I can work right here on camera. So I've got my panel, or what will be my panel, and I've got a sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that, and I've been having the debate, do I stamp it pink or do I stamp it green? And I think I'm going to stamp this in pink, just because of the contrast. But the decision that I now need to make is, do I want to orient this horizontal or vertical? You know, which way do I want to go? And while I'm playing with this, I'm going to look at this. I just might put it off to, it could go to the left, it could go to the right. I always tend to put things on the right. But I'm thinking vertical and over on the left is something different today. So I am ready to stamp, and I'm just lining up here to see if I'm going to eyeball it and get it straight. Yep. Stamp this here. Oh, I just had another idea. I was thinking about how I was going to do this when I lay it out. Yeah, I've got an idea. Okay, so basically I'm done stamping. Because this card can be used for so many different occasions, nothing fancy, just love. Thinking of you, get well, it could even be sympathy. I mean, there's a lot of different things. I'm actually not going to put a sentiment on the inside. So I'm going to start assembling this, and let me, now isn't that pretty? The watercolors on the back of these florals are very nice too. I'm going to have to start using those, because you could actually stamp things on there and make a really pretty card that way. But this is just a very simple way to use paper as your focal point, because this is really going to pop. And so now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the card base. I will use dimensionals for that sentiment when I get ready to adhere that. So this is going flat, and that was almost crooked. There we go. And now, as I said, I'm going to use dimensionals. Sometimes I like to put, and this might be a good one to do as well, put a little color on the edges. And I've done that. There's different ways to do it. And maybe the better way to do that, instead of touching it straight to the ink pad, because of these little grooves, I'm going to see, yep, I'm just going to use a sponge dauber here and put a little bit of highlight color. I think this just makes the shape pop a little bit more, because it is unusual. Okay, so now I really am done stamping. And I want this over to the side with my dimensionals, and then I'll go ahead and decorate it. But I think I will go ahead and stick this down first. Everybody has their preference for the order they like to do things. Some people would like to decorate it first and then adhere it to the card. There's no right or wrong. You know, it's whatever you think works best for you. Get these backings off and out of the way. And then I'm going to put this off. I think I might even offset it a little bit so that more of the paper shows. And then I am now thinking I'm going to put flowers down on the bottom corner here. And I punched out a couple different little sizes and shapes. And then I'm going to put the leaves behind it. So this is going to require liquid glue. You can see these are very delicate, but they go with the paper. Yep, they go with the paper. So it's a really cute little addition. And then I'm going to, the last thing I'll do is put the bow up at the very top. And I will use my glue dots. When we're spaced out there, I'll use my glue dots for that. So I think I'm going to do the leaves first. It's just a little bit of liquid glue here. And I want it hanging off because I'll put the flowers right on top and I'll make it a cluster of flowers. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of glue on the leaf points and then put that at an angle and it's going to hang off. And that's the idea I'm going for here. Since that's the little one, I'll put that on top. I'll kind of layer these. One there and put another one diagonal across from it. And I think this is going to need a little Wink of Stella as well. On the flowers, on the leaves, and maybe even a touch on the flowers in the paper just to give it that little bit of shimmer. Okay, yep. And then put on a glue dot or two, especially with this heavier ribbon. I think I might put two on here just to be safe. So one on either side of the knot or on the knot and then part of the bow. It's kind of the way I like to hold it down. Okay, so let's, yep, that doesn't cover up, perfect. Doesn't cover up my sentiment, but this really does highlight and showcase the pretty paper. So now to make these pink flowers pop, I'm gonna give them a touch of glitter, just the pink. Just the pink. Now, it would be really cool to do the white too, or just do the white if you wanted to make all these little leaves and lines have some shimmer. Totally up to you. You know, there's a lot of different ways that we can do this. So that is my sparkle there, and then a little sparkle to match here. Just calling some attention. What could look really cute, I don't know that I want to do it today, but little pearls in the middle of those flowers would be really cute too. So there you have it. Look how quick that card came together. And I will put the insert inside there. But I'm focusing on a paper panel, picking a really pretty paper that you like. I'm adding a sentiment. I did punch out some little flowers. I'm using the same two colors, you know, so I just used Petal Pink and Shy Shamrock and then added a sentiment and a bow. Very easy card, comes together very quickly. And then if you had an occasion that you knew you were going to use this card for, happy anniversary inside, you know, thinking of you, always thinking of you, get well. So there's just a lot of different things that could go on the inside. So quick and easy card. Thanks for joining today and stay tuned for the next video.